Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the BugsCast. We are the Aardbuddies. I am Steuben. Everyone else can go around the room, give a little bit of an introduction to themselves. So let's take it away.
I think Log should start.
All right.
Go Log.
What's up, guys? I'm an actual Log. Or you call me Log, whatever. I'm that Titan guy that everyone knows and loves.
Tight.
Yeah.
Link, you should go next.
Okay. I'm Lake, Ocean of Stars on Twitter. I have one Pokemon Day 2, and I have never done well in an Elestrals tournament ever.
Let's go.
Nice.
Go ahead, Keebs.
Sure. I'm Keebs. I'm Aeolus' strongest soldier. I bubble out almost every event I have done, either at 9th or 11th place. So that's about it.
Yo!
I'd like to think that I'm Aeolus' strongest soldier since I was the only wind person in this Celestria had to move forward, but...
Whoa.
God, just had to ramp the Elestrals as soon as possible.
Gotta flex.
We all...
And last but not least...
Yeah.
I'm Sylvie. I'm Coder's son. The last time I had a top was when Earth Nexus was a good deck.
You know,
missed it already.
They just bored playing it.
Sylvie, I think we've played in a tournament before. I know we've played before. Guys,
I'm
this is something
Coder's
about your
son.
can tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
All right, so anyways, clearly this is their first time ever recording a podcast, so it's going to be a little bit rough around the edges and unhinged, so I'm going to do my best to be the Sherpa until they get comfortable talking into a camera in front of others. But we want to talk about the upcoming Elestrals ban list, restrictions, the Tartarus list, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to start this thing off. This is pre-Firestorm. We haven't seen anything yet. We're recording this like Monday night, the day before they're posting this, so this is all just like speculation, raw thoughts, theories, so on and so forth. We're all pretty unanimous, and we all think that Elechick is going to get hit.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
That needs it. That's needed.
That card is so... Its card is too good.
Now, what about
it really
White
is.
Elechick?
What?
So,
No. It being
Plucky.
at 1.
Plucky, I think Plucky's fine because
Yeah,
it's
stat
got
line,
a terrible
yeah.
stat
Yeah.
line.
Not expected to a terrible what is it? Enchantment plus 1/4. Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Now, the issue with Elechick really just goes down to Zeus's playability of how most decks just like to run it. Getting basically like a free like 7 attack on the first turn, take into all the calculations with the 4 stat line, the -3. Overall,
Awesome.
just a very, very busted card from the start. And we don't see them hitting the Divines at all, especially with all the
I
buffs
wish.
this upcoming
Oh, man, I
Firestorm
wish.
set.
I wish Zeus would just go banging, bro. Can we just ban
Yeah.
Can we
Like,
errata
how many-
Zeus or anything? Like that
Make
card
it
is
2/2. That's it.
It was so bad.
-2
That's
attack,
why.
-2 defense. I think that just hits and solves Zeus.
It's hard to say ultimately what the correct answer is because like Elechick also just grabs Demeter, which is effectively like opposite Zeus. It's the same thing.
reverse Zeus.
Reverse Zeus effectively, and the fact that like it's just so splashable in Thunder and Earth packages, it's got to go. We've already seen them make the design shift with other cards searching specific divines. So that seems to be the trend. Yeah, Volcarius being the
Dan
first
has also
one.
said many times that he just wants to make
Sword
specific
Champion.
searchers. Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time before we see like things to replace Elechick. So, of course, if they ban it, it'll get an Escape from Tartarus version down the line, and maybe that can just get Zeus. But they're definitely not going to touch Zeus because of how important it is for all of the stuff in that archetype in Firestorm.
Yeah. That
And
archetype that's good.
Does
Yeah.
it not already have like a Zeus specific searcher?
There is
I don't-
no Zeus Searcher.
no,
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's
not.
not Zeus.
Yeah.
What I think
gotta
they
play
should do with
Plucky!
Elechick, what I think they should do with Zeus and Elechick, just make Elechick a 3/1, only search Zeus. I think that just overall solves the issue, give him more of a Mudlet stat line, and you're still able to hit over Rabbit. I think that's just a good part about that.
Yeah.
We need more
If you
rabbit
just
chippers?
search,
Why can't Rabbit just stay on the field, bro?
Speaking of Rabbit,
No, it's just
true.
did that card go to 1?
no. Please don't put my boy to 1.
Thank you.
I'm indifferent on
Rabbit
it.
is fine. Rabbit is good. Rabbit
Yeah,
is great.
I think it's a fine card. I just think the only issue is that it's become a backbone of deck building.
It really
Yeah,
is.
It's stifling
100%
creativity.
agreed.
It is just a load-bearing card. Like,
Yes.
as long as Elestrals does not have like good consistency cards, kind of like dumb combo decks are playing Nectar of the Gods. That's fine, but Rabbit he's just gonna sit there on the field forever. I had an opponent on Fire Nexus beat me because he went reenchant Rabbit 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, being able to have that thick of a booty and generate advantage is a problem.
Yeah,
But
ridiculous card.
it's not to where people can't deal with it because it can get run over.
It's just
and you
annoying.
can use removal on it and so on and so forth. But I don't like Rabbit just for the fact that like everyone shoves it in every deck as a 3 of. There's been like what 2 maybe 3 decks that we've seen that haven't played Rabbit recently.
Yeah,
and
like
even
OG
then like
Blitz.
they have their own pseudo replacements that
Yeah,
at least tutor
mainly
and
we
search.
see that in just Frost variants. We see it with Surtractors, Rhinosect, Crowd Scorch list.
Yeah.
Just the overall point of like Narpoon really being the Rabbit Searcher to get out your Rhinims, get out your Catarant, get out your Cryolings, and just overall just expend a draw, just burn some spirits, take some hits early game, maybe just Nog just to get some spirits in the Underworld, and just overall swarm the board with Rhinims, Rhinosects, and Cryolings, Cryoverns, and then score for game.
yeah.
And also same thing with Blizz. Blizz just having that overwhelming just gambling potential of just milling your deck. You don't need Rabbit because Rabbit's just going to Underworld. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Right.
Right there with the Gorgons.
Now
No.
No, they should mill Gorgons. I like when they mill Gorgons.
Oh, million Gorgons.
True.
I didn't
True.
even
Yeah,
know
it's-
they were-
Gorgon's good.
They're gonna mill
Yeah,
Gorgons, and it makes me happy. Because then I get to win the game.
All right. Next on our effective guessing is Rise from the Ashes. This started a lot of debate over the weekend because of the most recent premiere, but in general, it's also enabled other strategies in the past that can just kind of snowball.
Fuck Blisterix. That should have me a crush out and a Whataburger back at Charles. Fuck that card. Fuck Rise, man. I hate it so much.
After watching the most recent premiere, I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. I drew Comagma Celestial Rise. Game.
Personally, hear me out. I think
Uh-oh.
Rise should just get banned. I think
I've
that
been
card
saying-
is just a hard enabler for decks like Blizz.
For
We saw the
bullshit.
Celestial Reanimator. I was joking around. I made the Antitan Reanimator deck with the new fruit build. It's just having if it gets like it gets hit to 1, like there's still the opportunity to do that. Blizz will still play it. I think that ultimately kills a lot of the Reanimator decks.
Yeah.
I think Water Reanimator still has potential with
Rise from the
Tadpuffs,
Depths.
Rise from the Depths,
The
with
good
all the
Rise from.
healing potential as well with Sluggles and Drats. I do think Blizz will take a big hit no matter what they do with Rise.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
We don't need
honestly
Blizz.
go either way there.
Rise either banned or at 1, but just put it on the list, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna put it on a list, especially after this event. Just seeing how everyone was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I want to play Big Guy Turbo." Like,
Yeah, this is just
they
frustrating
Yeah.
to watch and
start
play
throwing like
against.
Panteras in there, and it's like, okay, now how do I up Pantera?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Just a little
this is-
follow up to that. Dan did mention today in the Elestrals Discord that this list was like they cooked this list like the entire month. So if Rise really was an issue, they probably would have discovered it by now. And that's our hope. Dan was saying that
Please.
the results this weekend have nothing to do with what's happening with the ban list that's coming out tomorrow as the time of this recording. But yeah, I really hope they hit Rise though.
Please, God. I hate that damn card. Alright.
moving along, we have, speaking, because Log was just talking about Dan, Dan's creepy hieroglyphics, crazy decipher message where he posts emojis.
Oh man.
The tweet itself
gosh.
says, "This is when I tweet emojis," right? And there's a volcano, a bunny, a mango, a cow, a wolf, and 5 dragons. We're assuming the volcano is clearly eruption.
Any
the bunny,
moron can put
rabbit,
eruption for game.
mango. Is that ambrosia? Is that spoiled fruit?
No, it's
Cow.
got- Yeah.
Cow makes no sense because like
Cow is
unless
for
the
sure
cows are
cow.
broken in Firestorm and no one's been talking about it.
I don't know.
BDIF. I don't know. TBH.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who's actually out here testing the cows next set. I was reading up on them like before we actually started this recording. The new soul stocks it doesn't look like anything.
Doesn't do a
it
damn
just
thing,
it returns.
yeah.
I think it like returns a divine or something. Like great, we're recycling Apollo or something. Like
Yeah,
I
but
don't
then you
know.
can like use it with the old Soul Bell and like hit it. I don't know.
Mhm.
Well, no, you,
can
do it with
like,
the new
stuff.
Soul Bell because it special casts itself, and then you send over, and then it does, and then you do nothing, and then you lose the game
Exactly.
from there.
Exactly.
Oh. I think
Yeah.
I think the wolf is definitely Werepup though. Because the new Werepup
Yeah.
apparently
Agreed.
is like super insane with the new Lyca Void.
Yeah.
Just the special casting is
Yeah.
too good.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what
I mean,
everyone's been kind of like hyping up about
'Cause,
that
like,
being able to
there's
flood the
a-
board.
There's apparently like a whole deck of just like what's called second attacks, where it's playing people who can attack twice or summon another thing to attack or anything like that. And it's just a whole deck of it. So that shit's like big 2-drops, 3-drops, as well as like
Mhm.
different things that just flood the boards crazy.
It's using like Nobby, Christ, the new champion of Aeola stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, Nobby, the new
Yeah, you
sword,
go,
like
like,
Pantera, like
right.
stuff like that.
God bless the slop.
speaking of Pantera, the 5 dragons. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
clearly that's a reference to Pantera, who I think had like 2 to 3 top 8 decks this weekend at this past premiere.
I think it
It's
has, like, 3.
always popped its 5 heads up off and on, but like the builds are always just so drastically different anyways too. So it's hard to say ultimately where Pantera is a problem. I don't think it is
Not at all.
personally because like
Yeah, I
the
think it's
spirit
fine.
amount that you need to invest into it, and you also have to just have the right board conditions at the right time.
Yeah, and then a card like
Yeah.
Spectrus is always just beating it. Like
Yeah.
you know,
There's so many things that just
anyone can
out-hydrate.
expect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hydrate's
Speaking
my
of,
goat.
I was scrolling through the quote tweets today from the post they made. Someone actually threw Specterus on the list. I'm pretty
No.
sure I saw a mention of
Please,
Specterus.
Putrid.
Let's be realistic. No.
No, yeah.
I think
what?
Specterus is very important, at least in Moonrise format, maybe in Firestorm. We saw the use of Calfmel. Specterus just straight up just counters Calfmel from really doing its job. I know some people were actually talking about like hoping that Calfmel's on this list today, this
Brilliant.
list tomorrow.
Because
Overall, because the healing potential along with Quackle and Sluggle was a little insane this past format with the heal control deck.
do we think the heal cards are going to be on there like Quackle and Sluggle and stuff like that?
Nah.
No.
No.
Hot
No.
take, I think that deck is awesome. I love heal control. I think that deck is really
No.
cool.
I think they're perfectly
get rid
fine to
of
stay where
Calfmel,
they're at.
that's all you gotta
Yeah,
do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Calfmel is the only one that's like
Calfmel
Because you
enables
kind
a
of like sit
lot.
on there. It's just like
Guaranteed.
it's a more annoying rabbit because you just sit there and it's like
It's
okay
a
now you
big-
have to
yeah.
force me to heal. I have to force my opponent to get extra resources when I don't want to.
Yeah.
And there's no card that stops it besides like Spectre's or Gorgon's Gaze and that's it.
Yeah.
you can
Transfog.
Gorgon's the cast of a Quackle and a Sluggle and stop the heal. You can, but you have to like time your Gorgons on that Calfmel during their
And
turn.
if you get Argoed, then you're like just screwed at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Argo should get hit.
I don't like that. I love Argo.
I do
Average
like
Fire
Argo.
Nexus player, but I think Argo's completely fine. I think giving some more battle tricks. I think I like battle tricks a lot in Elestrals. I don't want to see it go. It's so cool. It just only started being good.
Yeah, I use Argo a lot in my deck. It's a really nice card. It's also like a huge commitment to use as well. Like 4 spirits, 3 to 4, whatever
Unless
the
you have
artifacts are
fairies on
casting.
board.
As I say,
Unless
fire
they're both
spirits
fairies,
too.
yeah.
Fix it too.
Lest there be my goat.
But yeah, no, we saw like a deck list this weekend with Prime getting top 8 with the Champion Volcaries Fire Nexus deck, or Fire Artifacts, whatever you want to call it, being the most played deck this weekend as well.
Yeah.
That deck will have huge potential going to next format as well. But I think Argo's in a great spot. It's just that deck is really enabled by Argo.
I will add to that, most played but did not convert.
It had,
It's like
one
Blizzard.
slot. Yeah.
As an
It did
Antian
not,
player, I
it did
know that
not
feeling.
perform.
Okay.
I know that feeling as an Antian player.
Had to drop the Antian at some point.
You know,
I had to.
join the ranks of Chronodile and
We ain't
and
need that
Dracking
Crocodile
and-
allegations.
yeah, you got to become the new Chronodile 3.0.
I think that's
After
like-
Argo, I mean, like in terms of battle tricks, like what else is there? Don't poke the bear, which might get a little bit of a buff.
Don't
EDIF.
Yeah.
don't hit
Yeah.
that.
There's
I want it.
EDIF.
I want it. I'm
Bears is
waiting
nice.
for
Bears.
I'm waiting for my 2 Stellar Ursiers to come in the mail. I need
I
that.
don't know if it's BDIF like best deck in format, but B definitely stands for bear deck in
Bears
format.
deck in
Oh,
format,
true.
Bear-
Yeah.
So
I also want to take a second on the topic of bears. One of my local players this weekend, Zeno, actually went 5-2 with a Ursa Den Nexus deck.
No
damn.
way.
Yeah.
5-2
Gotta love
with
the milk.
water ice bear.
okay.
Yeah, man,
Just
Water.
Yeah,
drops
man,
Keo.
shit.
I think it was originally with Poseidon's, but what I saw, I was playing against him, like practicing this weekend and like testing my new Antian deck. Just straight up turn 1, just drops the den, drops Keon, and circle the skies, and just throws it all, and then the bear's out turn 1.
Skill difference. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
called being really good at the game.
Yeah. But yeah, no, ultimately went 5-2 this weekend. I got 20th place, so it was just a bubble out of prizing.
I
But
love the bubble.
I had a game
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago at locals, and I tweeted a picture of it, but I was getting pounded by 2 big bears at the same time. They got
Great way
2
to put it.
Glaciersa out in 1 turn, and I was just like, "What is happening right now?"
Well, fuck me, I guess.
I got out of it. I don't remember how I got out of it, but I think I can thank Argo for that one.
I think I was also
Go,
looking.
best card ever.
Dan was talking about as well that I think he almost got destroyed by the Bears deck at one of his gunslingers.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
I remember the Gunslinger. I get as many cards as I could get for the Spider deck in Dallas and face him and almost won. I was like 1 spirit away. I almost won that shit with just unreleased spiders.
You love to see it.
Spiders are definitely going to be good, for sure.
Hopefully, we'll see.
But
We'll
I
see.
don't think they'll preemptively hit any spider stuff.
Nah.
Sure not.
War Might Band. Let's
Other
go.
things that we
War
might
Might.
see touched, Kinleo?
Don't hit my boy.
I wouldn't be
think they
surprised,
Yes,
honestly.
please,
Yeah.
please hit Kinley.
Listen, if Lynx is at 1, they should hit
They should put
Kinleo.
Kinleo at 1.
And Lynx is
Honestly.
still problematic.
Honestly, at this
At
point, just
one.
let them put every Nexuser at 1. No one gets a
Every-
Nexuser
yeah, all
in
the-
their
all the-
element.
the
All
Nexus
of them don't
Destroy,
have
like,
Nexusers.
come on, man.
Bring back Spark It. We're
Bring
putting
back
Lynx back to 3.
Home.
Earth Nexus is back.
No, we don't need Earth Nexus back. That card, the deck is
Yes, we
miserable.
do.
I need Earth Nexus
It's the
back.
only deck I can
Nah.
talk with. Please give it back.
While we're talking about Earth, let's talk about Earthquake.
Oh,
Come back to 2. 100%.
Unban
I think
it.
that card's
Unban it. It never
I-
should have been
At
banned. Never
three?
should have been banned. Don't care.
I
Yes,
think come,
bro.
I think come to 2.
yes.
I think come to 2.
I think
it's
climbing
fine.
in higher counts is justifiable because it really does require you to manage that spirit deck just a little bit
Exactly.
better.
Your boy
and you
math,
have to
yeah.
dedicate more than 2 spirits to it. But also
take.
at the same time, if they get rid of Ambro for whatever reason, then Earthquake can
don't
go to
even-
3 for all I care.
Exactly.
Don't
you
even-
have
don't
to
even
put-
say
then you
Earth
have to
Ambro
put
ban.
6 Earth spirits in there unless you have some other healer, and I don't think there's anything that ultimately heals Earth right now.
The
No,
old Panzer does.
Old
Yeah,
Panzer,
depends.
and then if you want to
Reforge
be a cheeky son of a bitch, you could play Divine
And then
Healing. But like
Reforge
at that
heals
point,
any
you've already lost the game if you're playing Divine Healing.
What's the what is the goat one? Not Cyprong, but the other one. Cyprong. Cyprong can heal.
Cyprong.
Oh my
Cyprong
gosh,
can heal.
garbage!
I'll be real. I forgot that was a card.
Cyprong.
All right, in these two go hand in hand right now. Earthquake and its best friend Laurels.
Got it.
Ban
think
it.
I'd
Keep it
Outback.
banned. You can't bring that card back. Outback, dude. If the vines are going to be the new thing in the format, you can't have laurels, dude, or lava
Yeah.
lift. Like those cards will destroy like the format.
Whoa, all right, let's cool it on the lava lith. Back at 3.
All right, fire player. All right.
No, I definitely
Lava
think
Lith's never good.
Lavalith and Arcolith need to stay at 1. While we're at on the Lith, I think Moralith needs to go to 1 now. It's just a matter of
Really?
time. There's too
Yeah.
many decks that just enable it.
Enables
Yeah, I mean-
more frost. We don't like to
Oh
see
my-
that.
Oh my
Yo,
god!
stop.
Oh my
Wait
god.
until you get like Morfrost tree form or whatever.
Yo!
All right.
More
I'll
frost!
forgive more frost then.
Bug form.
Frost
No,
really
Frost,
just seems really
Chimera.
high tuned in Firestorm. I know it says fire in the name, but I'm sure it's just not like Froststorm instead, like Frostfall 2.0.
I played against a Blizz opponent who game 2 he went Morlith cast and then milled 4 counter runes and I was like, dude, this card can't be this bad. This deck cannot be this dog. I was like, there's no way. And then I whooped his ass. I don't know.
And then you mentioned Blizz, every Public Enemy number 1 almost. It feels like every other week.
One, man.
I don't know. I ain't got a
Look at
personal
behind
beef
the
with Blizz.
Krogers.
I got
I have
all
a-
beef with Blizz. I hate that card.
I have never played against a Blizz deck yet, so I have no beef with that deck.
Oh no.
Second
Every
most
Elder
played deck in
tournaments I
every
played-
event. Never plays it.
I have never played against it. I have never prepped for it because I don't believe it exists.
I think it's fine,
man.
but like it loses to itself more than it does win.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Everyone's like, play Divine Blessing in that deck. No, it just loses on its own.
Honestly,
you just
I'd rather
pray
play,
that
like-
it builds all of its good cards that it needs.
Yeah, every time I play against it at locals, there's this one dude. Shout out to Chuck. He just like mills Gorgon's shield rise. I'm like, all right, cool.
Nice deck.
My turn.
bro.
I'll take
Okay.
over your Snowlit.
To be fair, to be fair, against that Blizz opponent this weekend, he did go game 1 Snowlit Mill Owl Cedar Soar, Aspral Mill Cedar Soar, and I'm like, cool.
Dude,
What am I
one
supposed
opponent
to
at
do?
Dallas literally was like,
Sometimes
I've
you
never
can just
played
put
the
your
game
nuts on the
before.
table, and sometimes your nuts are in the table.
That's true. That's
My
so
opponent
true,
literally was
bro.
like, I've never played the game before until 2 a.m. the night before, and then goes Snowlit into Aspral, Cedar Soar, Aspral Mill into Cedar Soar Blistrix. So I'm like,
All right,
Sure,
go
Snowlit,
next.
Yeah.
Snowlit.
See?
Yeah.
Why mass?
I'm
You're
like,
mad
I'm
as
just
shit. You're so
I
mad.
can't play the game.
You're so
I
mad.
remember, like, the first casual event I played, Moonrise. Like, I'm at bottom tables. I don't remember when I'm even playing. And my opponent's like, yeah, you'll probably see why I'm here. They turn one. They play Snowlit, Cedar Soar, Aspral, gets him on the board, and then Aspral mills the last Cedar Soar and Blizz. And he's like, I guess this deck is good. And I'm like, great, awesome. Like, this is the last round, bottom tables of casuals. Like, I am like X3 right now.
I guess it's good. I don't know.
It was awful. It was so bad.
The last thing that we put in our notes to potentially talk about here are the Elestronauts ban lists that they
Oh,
tweeted
yeah.
out, where they
Oh,
just
boy.
straight up ban Rise, Laurels, Elichit, Quackle, Sluggle, Eruption, Helios Chariot Ride, and Hurricane.
Cool.
I don't know why Chariot. No, Chariot Ride is a bad card.
It's like future proofing. It's future proofing
that's
because it's
fair,
like
yeah.
if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, it's just Cold Wave to the Yu-Gi-Ohs out there.
This
True.
list was
I
just
don't
made
have
by
a Yu-Gi-Oh
Tartarus.
background. I don't have a Yu-Gi-Oh
Honestly,
background.
Konami made this list. Not any of the Elastronauts. They were like, "Hey, Konami, what do you think about Yu-Gi-Oh 2 right now?" Here's your ban list.
Here's your ban list. Oh, son of a bitch.
I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I was when I was younger.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
See all
is
the
just
Pokemon
so
stuff
toxic
behind you.
now.
Yes, I have a Slifer shirt on. Like I do like Yu-Gi-Oh,
Whoa.
but I haven't kept up with it in like 10 plus years.
What do you think with the shield, the one that they have on there?
Ridiculous. Why?
Smoking nothing? Like what?
For
what?
listeners' clarity, at 1 they have Shield Rabbit Gorgons, and at 2 they have PTA Ambro Earthquake.
I'm still baffled by the Ambro thing. I don't
Yeah,
like.
I don't know why you'd ever want to limit
I
Ambro.
think so many think
Like,
Ambro's
in the
fine.
game.
Like I get like sometimes games go down to, oh, my opponent like
I drew the
drew
Ambro
more
out.
Ambros than me. I played locals this weekend. I was on Sir Tractor's cryosec
My
list.
goat.
Literally, I'm versing someone. They're on like I don't even know what list they're even on. But straight up, we played 2 games. They drew all their Ambros each game, and like I still walked out on top.
Yeah,
Like-
That's what Sir Tractor's list does.
To be fair, I did cryo scorch each game, but
I mean, like it's because like Ambro just like only good players will know like how to manage their spirits and like
Yeah.
make sure the use of Ambro is like the most powerful card in their deck without
Mhm.
realizing it. While bad players will just like, yeah, I'll play Ambro like on turn 3 while I have 16 spirits, and it's like, okay, cool, like.
Yeah, it's a deceptively
so-
skill-intensive card to use. I'm kind of shocked.
It
by
really
how,
is.
How good,
Mhm.
like, how you'll see a good player use Ambro, and you're like, shit, that was a really smart Ambro. God damn.
Exactly.
And then you
Yeah,
see
I
a
mean,
player
because they're
like
managing
Lob
their
use it.
spirit deck way more efficiently than the other player. And,
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. They can expend one of a certain, like, if you have your one Flurmine and they expend it, but you've been holding Pocket Ambro the entire time, you don't feel bad about it. But little Timmy Dipshit will just, like, do whatever they want in an Ambro super early on. Like, you can
It's like-
really tell the skill difference of a player depending on when they Ambrosia.
Right.
Like, it's insane. It's such a tell. It is
So I
such a
love
tell.
watching Jess play because it's like, oh damn, she's at 3 spirits left. Ambro, bang! Win the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
the top player diff.
The top player did.
So-
I don't know.
Dude,
With
I
their
have-
list, with their list, they, like we mentioned, they have Shield at 1, Gorgons at 1, and PTA at 2. Those are the big 3 generic counter runes. Counter runes in general, like, feel like they
That's
take a
probably my
big
favorite
pocket of a
counter
deck
rune.
up, and maybe that's their logic here, is to like reduce deck space used by these runes. But
I
where do we
think,
go
like,
from there?
I think you should just cut every counter room down by 1. So 2 of each. That gives you 4 extra slots. Like if you're running the main core 4, that gives you 4 extra slots you have to put in your deck that you need to fill in that aren't just counter rooms.
I think that's the correct way to go about it, but I think like Gorgons and Shield at 1 is just removing so much like interactivity of the game, and I think it's like a big selling point of Elestrals is I get to actually do something during my opponent's turn. Again, coming from a Pokemon player.
There's a lot of times where I know some players are like, "Oh, I want to play the game," but all I'm doing is facing back row, and it's not fun. I know a lot of people who've like left the game because of that, and it's just it causes a lot of crash outs. A lot of people don't want to play the game, but I think lowering it down by 1 for each of them is a good idea. If you're not so reliant on it, because like every deck, you look at it now. There was a time where it was like 12 counter runes, and it was dropped to 10, and then people are bumping it to like 15 counter runes because they know if you just don't let your opponent play the game, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
We're kind of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation with these counter runes until like more cards come out. We're just kind of stuck using them until whatever. But it also seems like there's less and less Omni runes out every set.
Because
Yeah.
Dan even said he also released less Omni runes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I
And
like
that-
because it's
that'll
like,
be better
it
for
doesn't
deck
make every
building in the
deck
end.
viable.
Yeah.
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 But
Not every deck is the
when
same
will the general
15
public
cards.
see that vision though? That's the thing. Like it's how long is it going to take? Set 69? Like we're going to be dead by
Pull the number
then.
out of thin air
What do we
there.
What do you think about Set 8 leaked and Titan title?
Yes, it's
my
happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Just said it live
Oh.
on Twitch.
More,
Yep,
more
live on Twitch.
anti better.
We have the receipts.
There's like I feel like every week there's a new Dan leak.
Yeah.
The one person who loves leaking his own game is Dan.
We should just make another
exactly.
Twitter account and just call it Dan's Leaks.
Bro.
Oh, yeah, just like
Yeah.
someone who like literally just stalks his page, all the discourse all day, and just be like, Dan said this.
On this
screenshots it
day, at
immediately.
blah blah blah, Dan said blah blah blah, and then we could get funny with it and be like, "Oh, he went to the bathroom today." Dan's leaks.
Dan took a piss. Good job.
Have those like just automated by a bot that posts those tweets. Like,
Yeah.
well, I think we've covered a majority of what we put in our itinerary.
I actually want to talk
so
about
at this
one more thing
point-
from the from the
Go ahead,
Elestrals
go.
list. Hurricane to Zero. I think
Crazy.
I like it. I think it should be at 1, but I don't know.
Putting Thunderstorm there would have been better. Like,
Thank you.
Thunderstorm
Yes,
would have-
Thunderstorm
Yeah.
is the card you're going to
Yeah.
want to play. It's not Hurricane.
That's what-
No, because you can still play Hurricane if you're not playing like a COZ deck. If you're playing like a Champ
Yeah.
of Zeus, you're one Thunderstorm more than Hurricane
Hurricane.
because you just rock off of it.
Yeah,
But
you could tutor
every
it too.
other
Like,
deck, yeah.
you know, like
Well, I think the purpose is because like Hurricane only hits back row. Thunderstorm will hit any
Yeah,
room
it'll
on the
hit the,
field.
Yeah.
Stadiums,
all the
divines,
divines on the
and
board,
back
yeah.
row. Yeah. So if we're gonna go to like this divine heavy like format, like Thunderstorm feels like, because I've heard people say like, oh yeah, I'm building my first deck on Thunderstorm. I'm just gonna grab Titanal Strike, the champion of Zeus, grab a Thunderstorm, play your divine. I don't care. I'm just gonna pop it as soon as you play it down. So it's like, it's really not gonna be that fun. And I think like Hurricane can be fine, but Thunderstorm definitely needs to go down to at least 2 at most, personally.
That's fair. Yeah.
yeah,
That
with,
makes
and
sense.
also with Hurricane being touched or untouched, then we go right back to the counter rune talk all over again. It's cyclical. Like it's yeah. I mean, I don't know what you guys have had in like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, but in Pokemon we had the old Decidueye bell curve. There was a
God, wait.
Decidueye that walled
Oh,
out
the
Pokemon
wall
V.
one? Yeah, okay. I know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
So like people would forget about
Decidueyes.
Decidueye, and then
Oh.
it would win an event. And then they would
And
tech
then,
for
like,
Decidueye,
tech for it.
and then you wouldn't
does
see it for a
dog
few
shit.
months. And then all of a sudden, Decidueye would pop its ugly head back up and be like, "All right, cool, bitches, I'm
I
back."
win the game now.
Fucking Decky Dewey, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Decky
Dewey,
Dewey.
yeah.
Fucking Decky Dewey.
Was it? That was like Mew, Mew VMAX. Like,
Oh
everyone's like,
my
"I'll play
God.
Drapion," then
Don't
doesn't
mention
show
that
up.
card.
Everyone's like,
hate
"Drapion's
Mew.
bad," and then Mew's like, "I win a regional. We're back."
Right
Or
now,
so
I
bad.
mean, it's I feel like in Pokemon argument, like I feel like that's like Gardevoir or Charizard, but now Gardevoir is just like big dicking all the time right now.
Gardevoir, my goat. I have too many of them. I have
I
Gardevoir
can't,
deck
I
with me
can't wait
right
for the
here.
Mega to come back. I can't wait for the Mega to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I
That was one of my
can't.
first decks.
Maybe we'll
Oh.
get Mega Elestrals. No, I'm kidding.
Yo,
Yo!
Four drops.
New mechanics.
Mega
Four drops.
Titan!
We're back.
We're so
Okay.
bad.
Gigantamax and Titan.
That's the title. The title is Mega
Set
and
20.
Titan.
Set
oh my
20.
god.
Mark your
Set
calendars.
20.
All
Hell
Set
right.
42.
Any other actual Elestrals cards that you guys want to talk about at all?
Ban Necklace of Harmonia. That's it.
No!
Ooh.
Honestly, I'm
Call
kind of
that
spicy.
That's
bro.
spicy.
If you ban that, Argo is not as good because you just don't get a 3/5+ on any Elestral you want.
Yeah.
Ban
Argo
Necklace
has
of
to become
Harmonia.
much more like themed to your archetype. Like
But my Argos need to enchant 2 fire spirits so I can Kindle Nexus off of them.
I mean, I'm
like
not gonna
Tunic.
lie. Like, I feel like
Yeah, just play
Argo into
Hammer
the
Hephaestus.
Lyre of Apollo is hilarious,
Oh,
depending on
that-
the Elestral you enchant,
That's gonna be
because
so
it'll
fun.
swap.
Oh, yeah.
Vote whale
It'll swap.
question mark. Vote whale harp question mark.
Well,
Like
hard question.
you just like, oh, they attack you with their galaxy, you Argo Lyre them
Swap
and
theirs.
swap them back.
God, dude. I don't want those
The
judge
swap,
calls
swap,
anymore.
baby.
Giant Skyhawk has a heart attack having to read a galaxy board state.
Oh,
man.
no.
Whale arrow question mark.
Whale arrow question mark. My favorite.
Any other cards?
Galaxy to
Nope.
0.
No.
Any speculative Firestorm cards that need addressed immediately, or are we all just kind of like, eh?
I
Nick
say let the
Samara.
format go. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think like
Maybe-
the biggest thing is definitely the multi-attack deck that just swarms the board. I think that's
That
gonna be a
deck
problem.
seems ridiculous. Yeah.
But if they get rid of Moonrise Werepup the one, that's at
It
least
doesn't-
a part of it.
Kind of. You still have like the new Werepup that still can swarm the board. It doesn't really change too much.
What
It's
does
just
that
like
card
the
even say?
new Werepup is.
It's you can
it's
special
bad.
cast it or something if you have 2 suppressed cards on the field.
Yeah,
And if you
right.
destroy it, you can suppress a card on the field or something like that.
That's the.
But it's always
or no.
suppressed when summoned by the Like a Void, so it doesn't matter about its effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how
Yeah,
are
just
you getting
permanent
into
suppress.
the Like a Void if you don't have the Werepup? Because I think it has to be sent
that's
from
where
Werepup, right? Yeah.
that's what the issue is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too easy with
ban
Moonrise
Werepup.
Werepup.
There you go. Ban
True.
Moonrise Werepup.
I hate playing
Yeah.
against that goddamn card. If I
Yeah,
I had
honestly,
a
Loki,
really
I think that
bad
card should be
crash out
banned.
about. I had a really bad crash out about it one time. There's like a tweet of me talking to my ex-girlfriend, being like, "I'm gonna shoot this dog," because I hate
No,
Werepup so
all
much.
All right, and Papa YouTube is officially hunting us all down and
Sorry,
canceling us for
just
first,
the Werepup,
first
not
upload,
the-
first episode, and it's
Sorry,
and we'll
gang.
cancel. We'll see.
That was a funny tweet. It was not funny. It got like 2 likes because no one knows what Elestrals is. Because no one plays Elestrals.
Hop on Elestrals. Hop on
True.
Elestrals.
Elestrals.
Pokemon
True.
players, hop on
Welcome,
Elestrals.
Welcome here.
Hop on
Yeah.
Elestrals.
All right, these goons are getting a little too goofy, so let's wrap this thing up.
My bad,
if you're
gang.
watching this, take a moment, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know down below in the comments what you think is going to get touched if you're watching this when we upload it, and if you're watching this after the fact, then come back and tell us we're all a bunch of fucking idiots. Whatever you want, and also
Say
I'll
that
leave my
anyway,
affiliate
even if
link.
we're all right.
We'll put my affiliate link for the Elestrals shop in the description. Click the
One
link
of
to
us has
support
an
the
affiliate
channel.
link here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. One of us.
Bye,
One of
everybody.
us.